It's becoming increasingly apparent the HIV scare was done to me by my parents, family, and friends. You know, it was for revenge over something that took place 20 to 25 years ago. They thought I needed to they thought I needed to experience a pain, and they were, monitoring the amount of regard. I know they say it's idea of reference delusions. Toggle the emotional switch to off. What I see on social media, what I see in photographs, nobody has confessed, confirmed, or corroborated, that the HIV scare was premeditated. On the contrary, everybody tells me I stepped on something, I chose to take HIV PrEP. There was no premeditated conspiracy to pharmacologically abuse me. Okay, regardless if they did it or they didn't do it, there's one thing in my life, one incident that took place, and I've been obsessing about it nonstop, all day, every day for the past 5 years. I can't let it go. I am so obsessed with the HIV scare, the betrayal by my parents, family, and friends. I'm just so obsessed with it. They say, look at all that's good in your life right now. Everything is going so well for you, Andrew. You have friends. You're going to groups now. You're going to NAMI. Everything is progressing in the right direction. You've successfully completed stand-up comedy. Think of where you were in 2019. You were in a much worse place. I think, obviously I was surrounded by chaos with my parents for so many years. Being around my mother, father, and stepfather was like a war zone. It was like chaos. It was like fight or flight mode. I was just trying to keep my head above water. I was just trying to keep from drowning, living in the house with them. And now, obviously, my mind is chaotic, and, because everything is kind of going well for me, I have to, make the HIV scare, the chaos, the horrific trauma, it's kind of like the chaos of my parents, In a way, HIV scare is kind of like a bully that's bullying me, HIV is bullying me, even, though I don't have HIV, my blood work is clean, and interestingly enough, assuming they were trying to scare me about HIV, there was this South Park shirt, The Many Deaths of Kenny. I'll explain to you in a second. First off, I'm going to start off with this. My cousin had a shirt that said, "Oh my God, they killed Kenny." If you're unfamiliar with, South Park, Kenny is the character that dies in every episode. And my grandmother said to my cousin, "Oh, I remember when the whole world was saying that." And she was like, what the hell is she talking about? What the fuck is she talking about? The whole world was saying, "Oh my God, they killed Kenny." This is when South Park was brand new. My grandmother must have thought it said, "Oh my God, they killed Kennedy, the president." But yeah, it was bizarre. It was like, "Oh my God, they killed Kenny? This is a new show. This is a new fad." Okay, but getting back to the Many Deaths of Kenny shirt. There were like deaths on the shirt, like dismembered, and the one that especially creeped me out and horrified me was burned to a crisp. You saw Kenny like completely, white and silver and like burned to a crisp. And every time I see that shirt in the mall, I'd get really disturbed. My heart would sink. I would get sick to my stomach, and I'd become horrified. And I thought nobody in my family would ever get the shirt though. One day, somebody, I guess for my brother's birthday, purchased the Many Deaths of Kenny shirt for my brother. And at that point, like, my heart sank, I was horrified, and my brother was wearing the shirt, The Many Deaths of Kenny. It made me feel so sick. And, I had to destroy his shirt. And they asked me, "What the hell, Andrew? Why didn't you destroy your brother's shirt?" And the answer to the question was, I didn't have an answer. But everybody knew the shirt creeped me out, disturbed me. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying HIV, I mean, HIV is life-changing. If your blood work is actually infected by HIV, you know, that would be the end of your sexual life as you know it. But, you know, also, in a way, it was kind of like the many deaths of Kenny. You know, I mean, my fear of HIV was so horrific, so catastrophized, so ridiculous that I got sick to my stomach, and it's ruined the last 5 years of my life.